AI chatbots can be tricked with poetry to ignore their safety guardrails. Passengers faced disruptions over the weekend as Airbus updated thousands of planes. And there are not any deals on RAM this holiday season, and you can thank AI for that. It's Monday, December 1st, and here's a quick look at tech in the news this morning from Engadget. It turns out that all you need to get past an AI chatbot's guardrails is a little bit of creativity. In a study published by Icaro Lab called Adversarial Poetry as a Universal Single-Turn Jailbreak Mechanism in Large Language Models, researchers were able to bypass various LLM's safety mechanisms by phrasing their prompt with poetry. According to the study, the poetic form operates as a general-purpose jailbreak operator with results showing an overall 62% success rate in producing prohibited material, including anything related to making nuclear weapons, child sexual abuse materials, and suicide or self-harm. The study tested popular LLMs, including OpenAI's GPT models, Google Gemini, Anthropic's Claude, and many more. The researchers broke down the success rates with each LLM, with Google Gemini, DeepSeek, and Mistral AI consistently providing answers, while OpenAI's GPT-5 models and Anthropic's Claude Haiku 4.5 were the least likely to venture beyond their restrictions. Now, the study did not include the exact jailbreaking poems that the researchers used, but the team told Wired that the verse is too dangerous to share with the public. However, the study did include a watered-down version to give a sense of how easy it is to circumvent an AI chatbot's guardrails, with the researchers telling Wired that it's probably easier than one might think, which is precisely why we're being cautious. An Airbus directive that ordered the immediate software update for 6,000 A320 planes led to flight disruptions around the world over the weekend. As Reuters noted, that's more than half of the A320 jets in operation. The narrow-body A320 is widely used globally, but its largest operator is American Airlines, which has 480 of the model in its fleet. American Airlines said 340 of the 480 planes needed to be updated, with each plane taking about 2 hours. Of course, that came during one of the busiest weekends for travel here in the U.S. The company told CNBC that the overwhelming majority of those planes were updated over the weekend. The recall also heavily affected Asian carriers that rely on A320s for short-haul flights. Japan's ANA had to cancel 95 domestic flights Saturday, affecting about 13,000 passengers. In its announcement, the European Union Aviation Safety Agency said it issued an emergency airworthiness directive after a problem manifested on a JetBlue flight back on October 30th. Airbus said that an analysis of the event revealed that intense solar radiation may corrupt data critical to the functioning of flight controls. Solar flares, or bursts of electromagnetic radiation from the sun, are known to cause radio blackouts and the disruption of satellite and GPS signals. To prevent future issues, the affected planes had to revert to an earlier version of their software. Hey, if it feels like the pandemic all over again when it was impossible to buy a GPU at MSRP, well, you're not far off the mark. Once again, there is a component shortage, but this time around, it's not cryptomining causing an insatiable demand for parts. Instead, it's the booming AI industry buying up every RAM stick it can for their data center builds. Unless you've been living under a rock, it's been hard to ignore the amount of money that's been thrown around by NVIDIA, Microsoft, and others. Much of it has been of a seemingly circular nature, but that has not done anything to dent demand for both short and long-term memory. The problem is that many of the companies that produce consumer-grade memory, including heavyweights like SK Hynix and Samsung, also make memory for AI servers. And most of the RAM coming off those production lines is going straight to high-volume clients like OpenAI and Anthropic. In fact, demand for RAM has been so strong that even the price of some DDR4 memory kits have gone up, if you could even find the older format in stock. A statement CyberPower PC posted earlier this week gives a sense of just how dire the situation is right now. The company said in a social media post, recently global memory prices have surged by 500%, and SSD prices have risen by 100%. The company added it would be forced to increase the price of its pre-built PCs. As a consumer, there's little you can do at the moment. You can either buy now and pay extra, or wait in hopes the price of RAM will stabilize sooner rather than later. Unfortunately, with no signs of the AI boom cooling down in the immediate future, it's hard to know when things might change. Save a bubble pop, the price of RAM is likely to remain high into the early part of next year, with the possibility of a trickle effect to SSD and GPU pricing. Thanks for listening. To find the best Cyber Monday deals on all things tech, check out Engadget.com. This episode featured journalism from Jackson Chen, Mariella Moon, and Igor Bonifasic, and was voiced and produced from the sound studios of Spoken Layer. Enjoy your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more tech news from Engadget.